Okay, I think we're live, guys. We give it a minute or two and see if anybody comes in. Got a piece of peppermint in my mouth, chewing on it. Okay, we're waiting on. Hopefully, somebody will come in here in a minute. Oh, there we go. choking, choking on the peppermint I got in my mouth, guys. Get it right in a minute, guys. Hey there, Brent and Havita and New Horizons. Hello, hello. Ooh, guys. I don't know about your house, but it's doggone cold here at mine already. Ooh. 35 here already, y'all. This is Georgia. Midwest Georgia. We ain't supposed to have this kind of cold. How's it going for y'all? We will see what happens, guys. May not have anybody pop in. Maybe we will. I don't know. No clue. No clue. I understand that, Brent. I don't have a clue either. I got out there today and put pine straw in the bottom of all my bunnies' cages so that they would cat's climbing up here, guys. Oh, hey Peter, how are you? It's real doggone chilly here, guys. But I put pine straw in the bottom of all the rabbits' cages so that would be as much cold air coming up under there. I wrapped them all in plastic. A couple of them I just put feed sacks around them and put bungee cords on there because so I just didn't have enough clear plastic to put on them. But anyway, definitely until and in Arkansas. 54, Havita, I bet y'all are freezing to death, girl. Yeah, good God. It's we're not used to this kind of weather, not near this early in November, especially December and January. January, we usually get our colder weather in January and the 1st of February, guys, which don't make sense to me because you would think the worst of it would be, around December. But anyway, we'll get it before it jumps up there all of a sudden and goes to, oh, hey, Jerry, how are you? Oh, yeah. High in the 30s in the morning. Yeah. It's supposed to be 20. They're predicting 26 or below. They're saying that's what they've been saying all week. Now they're saying low 20s in the morning here. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. We're not used to this. Already getting this chilly. Joey had Joey come in today and he blew out all our old propane heaters. Well, we got one in the kitchen and one in the living room. We also have a wood burning fireplace. Has a lot to do with why our electric bill is so low every year, guys. But we've not used either of them so far this year. And we don't use it unless it gets down below about 35, 36 degrees. And then we'll turn on the propane or put a fire in the fireplace because we have a heat pump. Daughter sent you a picture of the fall leaves still on the trees with snow falling. I know it, isn't it crazy? It's just don't make any sense. Yeah, we've been watching the news this afternoon and earlier today, and I just could not believe it, guys. I could not believe it. Yeah, they had snow just up above Atlanta and up there in Pikeville and in that area. Hey, Sheila and Christy. I guess I said hey to you just now. Read your message anyway, hun. Christy Betts. Yeah, man, I'm telling you what. It was snowing like crazy, and my friends that live up there in Pikeville, Tennessee, were saying that it is super cold up there where they are, already in the low or high 20s, I should say, 28, 29 already. It's too cold for me, guys. My little hot-natured butt. But anyway, to get back to my little bunnies, put pine straw in the bottom of their cages because, it's just wire on the bottoms, and I didn't want the cold to come up. And normally I put plastic or something all the way down to the ground. That way they can still do their pooping without any problems. But don't have enough plastic right now, so I got to get some more. And these doggone rabbits, I mean, it was getting cold down through there, and especially that one that had the babies. So the kitty cat's trying to get up here already, guys. She's been crawling up my britches leg, and now she's trying to come up the chair leg. So we'll see what happens. Colony raising rabbits is the way to go, sister, but only if you want to. Okay, what is colony raising? You'll have to tell me about that. Never heard of that. But yeah, I got all mine in separate cages except for 2 does that I have in a great big pen. In fact, I took one of the bucks out and put him in with the 2 does today because I knew if they were bred, they had just bred, and I didn't want to. It will be, really, really. I didn't want, any babies being born with a buck in there because they'll kill them. But cold here too, but it will be overnight, 28 now. Woo, y'all are colder than us. Good gracious alive. 32 where Christy is, gonna go to 25. Well, we're still at the 35 mode right this minute. Let's see, the rabbits can actually burrow in the ground inside a big cage. Okay, when you do that, do you have to dig down into the ground and put a trench in to keep the bunnies from digging out from under there, Brent? I wondered about that. And yeah, I have a huge pen that I could put them in if I could do something like that. That would be really nice to be able to do that. Do you put all the does together and the bucks separately, or when you breed them, do you have to keep the does separated, or do the other females kill the babies, or what do you do when you doing that? I've just never heard of colony raising. I've heard of people that have their rabbits and their chickens running together. I know that's kind of nasty thinking about, but I've heard of that, and it seems like they get along pretty good together. Yeah, I've heard that you should not have horses and chickens together, but I've had them all my life. Come on, Meow Meow. He's determined. She's determined she's getting up here. Yes, in general, you dig down the cage and wire into the ground around the colonies are generally about 18 inches or deeper. Okay. You do have to grow out a grow out section for when you figure the boys and girls, I guess when they get big enough to start breeding, is what you're trying to say. Yeah. But you can leave all the females in together once they've been bred to have their babies. You don't have to worry about the other females injuring. Don't mix brown chickens and brown cows. That might be an issue. I can figure out which is which, huh? Hey, wait, how are you, dear? Good to see you. Glad you made it in. Yeah, glad you made it in. See the little munchkin chewing on my hand here? Little devil. Already at it. The little quails are over here. I got them in the house because, they're not big enough to put out. They ain't feathered up all the way. So they're over there just a chirping away and scratching. You can hear them scratching in the feed. So if y'all hear something weird in the background, that's what it is. Yeah. But yeah, it is really super cold. I went down and put old pine straw that I'd raked up on top of my lettuce and on top of the little carrots that are out there and around my yellow angels trumpets to try to get a little bit of protection for them. When it gets warm again, I can just rake that straw back. And thank you, Christy. But yeah, she's a cute little kitten. I just can't believe how big she's grown. You guys will not believe this little heathen. Last night I was in there and she was running around. You talking about having the zoomies. I think her and Rosie are all doing the same crank or something, because she was jumping from the floor, climbing up the side of the recliner, jumping up on the arm, climbing up to the back of the recliner, jumping from there over to the stairs, jumping from the stairs back to the back and back down and back in the floor. I bet she did that about 4 times. It was so funny. I'm thinking, what in the heck? And she's just started. We've got some wind chimes on the front porch, guys. And they're cut glass, and so when the sun hits them just right, it puts different colors and it shines into the front of the house, the doors on the front of the house. And so she's got to where she's chasing the doggone when the wind chimes blow, she's chasing the shadows or the light prisms that form onto the floor. Talk to Dwana and she's interested. We can talk later. Okay, that sounds great. Yes. And they're big ones, guys. They're big ones. And anyhow, off the subject there. Got all that done. I picked all my lemons, guys, because I had a basket full of lemons I picked off the lemon trees. Just had one lemon on one tree. The other one fell. I guess the cat got in there. The big cat got in there and knocked. Had 2 others, but they were small. They did knock them down, took them off. But there was one. It was as big as a softball, guys. It was big as my fist. I mean, it was just unbelievable. And then I taught. Then I picked all of the rest of them in that basket are from the other tree. So the other tree really showed out this year. The other one, when I was bringing it out, I pull them out every year in the spring. While they were coming out, it was knocked a bunch of the blooms off moving it. And then, if you get a third of the blooms on lemon trees, you're doing real good, because you'll get a whole ton of blooms, and they smell so good, guys. They smell great. I've got to get some good fertilizer and put in there with them. She looked like a cat that Ace and I had, named Miss Helen. Okay. Yeah, I almost called her Two-Face, because look, one side of her face is black almost. It's getting more gray in it. Yeah, yellow, gray, whatever you want to call it. But the other side has always had the yellow and all in it, so it's cute as it can be. We found, this is the one we found in the middle of the road that we bottle fed, guys. She's a mess. She gets up on Joey's stomach and she sits there like this with her little feet and plays with his beard. Thank you, Brent. I think she's sweet. Yeah, she's a little calico. She's getting more, let's see. You can see she's getting more color in her. When we first got her, when I first found her, she didn't have, you couldn't hardly see any of the other color in her. But she's getting more color coming out underneath there now, so I think it's kind of cute. I remember Petals from the Past in Alabama had a big Meyer lemon tree, and they made a cage with wood and plastic in the winter. Yep, they sure do. They've got a bunch of grapevines and stuff down there too. And I bought me a Japanese persimmon, Fuyu persimmon, whatever, from down there, and got it planted. And the doggone went out there. Joey said the goat was already had it bent over. So he drove me another post up and we tied it up good, so maybe the little goat won't get it. And she is so doggone fat. She actually scratched the hair off of her backbone coming through the doggone fence, guys. She is still determined to get out into the yard. And there's not any leaves from the from the ground up to about 3 foot on my rose bushes. She's eat every leaf off of them. And my poor old lilac bush is just naked. It just looks like a stalk with a couple of little limbs on it and about 2 or 3 little leaves at the top. So I don't know if that poor thing will ever live. I tried one of the wild persimmon on my property, had to spit it out. Well, you know what? They are not good until this time of year. If it's turned orange, they're good. If it's green, they're not good and you can't eat them. But now these Japanese persimmon that I've got, you can eat them while they're green. You can eat them after they've turned. You can eat them when they're firm. You can eat them once they get mushy. They have a good taste every time. And once they get real mushy, they're really sweet then. But before then, you can eat them at any time and they're really good. So it's amazing to me. Oh, you see yourself on that camera, sweetheart. Anyhow, so that's to me that makes it worthwhile, because I don't mind going by and picking one every once in a while, but having to worry about them all at one time, that makes it rough. Yeah. Made a cage with wood and plastic. Yep. I used to wrap all my banana trees. Guys, I had tons of banana trees around here. Years ago when I was working, I took care of them so well, and we would I built cages, and I would stuff those cages with pine straw. All the way, I'd cut all the leaves off, the long petal leaves off my banana trees, and I'd stuff them. And I had bananas every year. They weren't big bananas like, Chiquita bananas or nothing, but they were the little plantain type bananas. And talk about sweet. Oh my God, they were sweet. But that's just the way it goes. Nowadays, they all die off and come back the next year. They don't get that special attention that they got back then. Yeah, it worked really good, Christy. I'm going to try that. In fact, I have a little bush or tree that Miss Wheat gave me. And got it in, brought it in the house. This little devil's tried to get it. And I brought in my avocado tree. It's about 2.5 foot tall, so I don't know if it'll make it either, but hopefully if it'll make it through this season, I'm going to plant it, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to plant it inside of I have a metal, it's kind of like a gazebo, but it's kind of weird looking. But I'm going to plant it in one of my orange trees inside that thing. And just have a couple of seats on the outside edge. And that way I can wrap the whole doodad there next year with plastic or whatever, and won't have to, I can actually plant them in the ground. But now I did get a Harvey lemon this year, and they say it is good all the way down to 17 degrees. And we rarely get down to 17 degrees. Of course, we did year before last. I think it was year before last. It got super cold at Christmas time. Yes, Christy, thank you so much. Yeah, put those thumbs up for me. I froze on you. Sorry about that. Hope it wasn't anything on my side, because this is with YouTube Studio. So hopefully that's not an issue. It went out completely on me one time. So, well, I don't know what happened there. So, Christy, if you go out there and get you a couple of those wild persimmons now, especially when it's frosted on them, they are really good then. In fact, my grandmother never would make persimmon jelly or anything until after frost hit them. You have to be careful now because they start falling off the trees earlier. They didn't used to, but they do now. And, of course, the birds like to get in them. But these Japanese persimmons don't have near the seed that the wild persimmons have. Wild persimmons, you get very little meat and all seed, But with the others, it's completely different. But, yeah, we've been just killing it around here, and it was doggone, the wind was blowing today here. So it was doggone cold, and I went and took the clear plastic was trying to blow up on the sides with the wind blowing. So I got bungee cords out of Joey's shop. He's going to kill me, guys. I got all of his long bungee cords and I bungeed around all the cages to keep the plastic from blowing up, because I got the straw on the bottom, but if there's plastic going to come up, I'm going to have to do something about that anyway. Brent says, don't hit that thumbs up while they're hammering the like button. That's right. That's right. Oh, so alkaline tasting, had to wash my mouth out. Yes. If it has any green at all on it, or early, just barely orange, real light colored, it is not going to be good. It is very bitter, alkaline, whatever you want to call it. It's horrible. I mean, it'll just about turn your mouth inside out with. They're so horrible. But once they've gotten really deep orange, that's when they're really good. Well, hello, Miss Tamara and David, I'm assuming. How are you? We are just hanging out here, doing the best we can. Trying to stay warm, guys. Can't believe it's already 28. I think Jerry was saying it was 28 there already. It's 35 here down in Georgia. See, we're down at the bottom. I'm in Midwest Georgia too, guys. I'm not far from the Florida line. 2.5, 3 hours from the Florida line. Well, I guess about 2.5 hours from the actual line. Yep, no snow here. There's snow right up the road here, less than 100 miles from us, though. But, if we get snow here, it's a big deal. See, it's going to be 27 at your house tonight. Well, they're saying 26, 25, 26 is what they've been saying all week here. But then on the news tonight, they were saying in the low 20s. So, I don't know. And that was in Atlanta, low 20s. So, we may be mid-20s here because we're an hour, not quite an hour below, about an hour, I guess, below Atlanta. So, anyway. Oh, all the bunnies are doing fine, Christy. Yeah, all the bunnies are doing good. It was the dog that we had, the two bunnies that did not, the two puppies that did not make it. They know I couldn't get anything to accept them. I tried my best, and I was feeding them good with the tube feeding, and they were growing. I mean, they were gaining weight and everything, so they were doing good. Rosie's just too spazzy. Every time somebody knock on the door or anything, she'd grab it up like, was going to try to run and hide with her baby, I guess, and that just created issues for us. But this little devil is trying her best to get she's got to be the center of attention all the time. Oh, no. Had to go and change tanks. Woo-wee. In the middle of the night. Doggone girl. Do you use your furnace on your camper, or do you have a little small propane tank, or how does that work at your house? Christy, since you're living in a camper home. Because I know sometimes those furnaces will use quite a bit of propane, and then sometimes they don't. It's just like those doggone mini splits. They are very quiet compared to the central air that's in the top of those campers. It looks like with mini splits that they put mini splits in the campers now. I mean, yeah, especially the new ones coming out, because that roof air is horrible. It is so loud you can't hear yourself think in there, Oh, we got Musgrove family. How are you guys? Great. Glad to see y'all back in here. Oh, she's purring now, guys. Purring. Oh, that's when you just love them to death, when they get real quiet and still. But I'm telling you, it's a very old camper, and I use a buddy heater. Whoa, girl. Yeah, you're probably safer. You got a huge tank, I'm assuming, like at least a 20-gallon propane tank, or like a grill propane tank or something. My brother uses those in his house for a propane heater that he has a regular propane heater, and he uses one of those small tanks, even though I bought him one of those cylinder tanks, but it's that holds like 100 gallons, but he said he can't pick it up, since he had that open heart surgery. He can't pick the doggone thing up to have it changed out, and the darn propane people won't come out and fill it, even though they're right there beside him in that mobile home park. He lives next to a mobile home park, and he said that they still won't drive, probably 500 or 600 foot to his house from the mobile home park to darn fill his tank up. And he can't pick it up by himself, and he says it's a pain in the butt to try to get somebody else to come do it for him. So he just started using the smaller tanks. And if he gets to town, he'll go and have them filled. And if not, he just swaps it out at the Dollar General up the road from where he lives. Yeah, it's horrible to have to live like that, but that's the way it goes. We have a place here where we can get them filled on Thursdays. It's a Thursday fill up or $10 fill up or something like that. And that's what they charge you, $10 to fill up your propane tank. So, and you have the grill size. The others are too heavy. Yeah, I know that's right. Those suckers aren't heavy once they're slap full. I have the little bit bigger. I guess it's a 30-gallon tanks on my camper, and I'm real glad about that. I think I do. No, I don't. Not on this camper. The other camper that I had the bigger tanks. The fifth wheel. But anyway. $10 is a good price. And anytime ours gets low and we know we're going to have to fill it up real quick, we have to swap one out. We go ahead and take that sucker. We plan on it. We'll take 2 or 3 at a time when we do go down there so we get them filled up. Because Joey runs a propane heater with a gas grill type bottle in his shop out there to stay warm. And his shop, for some reason, stays pretty doggone warm. I guess it's because the late evening sun hits the shop and it's insulated pretty good. And so that helps to hold the heat in there. And he doesn't ever open the windows in there. If he's during the summertime, he just opens the roll. It's got a roll-up door on the front and a roll-up door on the back. And when it gets hot enough, he'll roll both of those doors up. And he has a good breeze that flows right through that thing. Hey, Darren, how are you? Good to see you. I'm so glad, Peter, that you finally got into your house. I know that has to be super nice for you. 3 dogs and a cat to cover your bed. Well, we're trying to train this little thing not to come in the bedroom. This morning when I went to come out, Joey had a Clorox bottle sitting on the floor by my door because one edge of this house is super old, and one of the boards on the door to my bedroom has a cutout, and the people that lived here years and years and years ago did that so that their cat could come in and out of that room. And so I've never changed it out. I like these old, heavy wooden doors. And so he had a Clorox jug sitting there to keep this little devil from going up into the darn, coming into the bedroom. Because he just shut the bedroom door and pulled the little devil in there. And yes, all of my critters are rotten too. Like I said, I've been out there trying to make sure everything's going to be warm tonight. So, Darren, when's the last time you got to go on a trip over to Germany? I've not been checking out your videos lately. I'm sorry. I've just been so busy with everything going on here. I've just not done it. Not done it at all. Let's see what else is going on around our house, guys. That's about it. Joey said I better not let these wild rabbits. My little garden has I have lettuce planted out there, and it's gotten up pretty good size. And I was laughing yesterday. I think the gate was gapped open, and he said, we were going somewhere, and he said, "You think you ought to get out and shut that gate?" And I said, "No, maybe the chickens won't get in there, and if they do, they won't hurt anything. But they may peck at the lettuce, but that'll be about it." Said everything else is about gone in there now that I've got everything moved in. You were back in July and went a few weeks ago. I know that's right. This is the right time to go to Germany. Yeah, you can fly over there, especially if you got to get a military discount, and you should be getting a military discount. You can fly to Germany round trip for about $250, $280. That's the way to go, especially if you got somewhere that you can stay or friends over there or something. That's what I did when the kids were over there. I went a lot. I used their military discount. I think they're lap dogs. Christy, I know how big those big Pyrenees type dogs are, so I can imagine. We had one, her name was Bella, and she was sweet as she could be, but when she started licking the feathers off the chickens, we had to give her up. She went to Pyrenees Rescue, and some people, a family got her. They had a big farm, and it was all fenced in, so I was so glad so she could run and play. But they just didn't have any children. I mean, they did not have any animals. They just wanted an animal, and they decided they wanted one that was already used to being around kids and all that. So they rescued her for me, and I sure was happy about that. But she was a good dog. But boy, do not like to stay in a pen. I don't know about yours, but they like to ramble if they're allowed to. Hey, Beltlook, 29. How are you, dear? Yeah, we are trying our best to lock down the gates around here and try to stay warm. How cold is it over there in Mississippi? I know here it's supposed to be super cold in the morning, guys, and it's right doggone chilly with that wind blowing out there right now. Was there snow over there, Darren, when you went a couple of weeks ago? Because we didn't, when I was over there, it snowed, but the roads were so much nicer over there when they had snow. It was kept on there. We had a Bella Great Pyrenees. Oh, okay. Yeah, Bella was a sweetheart. We got her as a puppy. Of course, she kept with the animals, and she did good with the bigger animals, but she just wanted to play with those chickens. And she didn't chew them or bite them or anything. She would just hold them with her front paws and lick them and love on them like she was grooming them or something. I don't know. I've never had that problem. Charlie dog killed a couple of chickens when he was young, but now he will sleep with a rooster standing on him. Isn't that something? Wow. Let's see. Snow on top of. Okay, good. Yeah, I would like to go up there what is it, Black Forest. I never got to go to the Black Forest when I was over that way. And I would like to go up there in the upper more mountainous regions of Germany and see what that's like. And also go up to where they have the skiing up there. That would have been cool. I did not go up there just because I would had so many other things going on, that I just couldn't get up there. One of my dogs is Bella and oh no, Christy, that's so sad. Is it a cancer inside the body, or is it those little cancerous nodules that they get on the outside of their body that doesn't keep growing? I'll have to check that out sometime. The kids keep hoping that they will go back. They loved it over there. In fact, that's one of the places that they told Chris that if he gets his next promotion, which will be chief, that's most likely where he's going to end up. And so he's thrilled about that. Of course, they would love to go to Hawaii, and they would like to go, I think Hawaii and, dang, can't think of the other place that they would love to go. They have not been yet, but they loved it in Germany. And I wouldn't mind it too, because there's still a lot for me to see over that way. I would love to go see. And food to eat that I've not tried. You know how that goes. Let's see. Oh, Lordy, guys. Oh, 3 years ago, and it's come back. That's so sad. Yeah, I had a puppy dog one time that had that, and it was a growth right around its belly button, and it just kept getting bigger, and we'd had surgery, and then it started coming back, a few years again. I guess it's just like people. If they don't get every bit of it, it comes back. And it's so hard to get it all when you go in and do surgery like that. Oh yeah, there is always somewhere worth going. There's a lot of places here in the United States I've not been yet that I would love to go see. What does GTSY mean? You got me there. I don't know what that means, guys. Oh, my husband has never flown. And he didn't go with me when I went to Germany. He said there's more places here in the United States he'd like to see before he has to go to another country to see it. And I want to go on another cruise, guys, so bad, but I just don't have nobody to go with me. And it gets so expensive when you have to pay for somebody else just so you have a partner to go with you. I would have loved to have done the Alaskan cruise that the YouTubers all did. That would have been wonderful. Boy, there's some beautiful pictures and videos that came out from that. I know what grits is. That's right. Girls raised in the South. I know what that means. Oh, good to see you. Okay. Had no clue. I thought it was gutsy or something. I don't know what it was supposed to mean. Oh. Yep. Let's see. Trying to think of what else is going on. My daughter got to babysit the grandbaby for the first time, her grandbaby for the first time. She was so excited. She's been around him a lot, but as far as her actually being the only one there looking after him, the kid's gone and all that, because before, if it started crying, Haley'd get it and get the poor little fella and take him away from him. Oh, Lord, that's the way it is. These new mamas, bless her heart. Joey and I have laughed about it before long. She'll be going, won't y'all please come get this child? He's driving me nuts. Give her about 2 years old, right? That knee wears off. Yeah. Snoozing away. Love to see Alaska, but all those people on the boat is too much like a city to me. Yeah, the thing is every time somebody goes on a cruise, they come back with during COVID nowadays. My kids came back with COVID. About half of the ship came back with COVID, I think. So I don't know, man. Halfway to typed it out already. So I thought I would send it, even though somebody already did laugh out loud. That's okay, Brent. You go for it, babe. Yeah, guys, if y'all have not and you would like to go to Helen, Georgia, y'all should come up and go to the Helen, Georgia meetup. It's a real cool meetup. They just meet like for breakfast and lunch or dinner, and everybody hangs out and you just do whatever you want to during the day. And then on the Friday or Saturday night, everybody gets together and they have a big dinner at a German restaurant there in Helen, Georgia. And it's a lot of fun, guys. I know it's a long ways for a lot of y'all that live out toward Arkansas and all, but dang, I come out there to see y'all. So if it's something that you have never seen, never been to Helen, Georgia, and the areas around there, Maggie Valley and all that, South Carolina, North Carolina, right across the line where all the Indian artifacts and all are, you guys ought to come down and just hang out make a week of it, a 4 or 5 day trip, and just enjoy it. I've gone for the last. Did not make it this year. We had something come up. Now I don't even remember what, but had something come up, so I didn't get to go this year. But hopefully I'll be there this coming year. Yep, yep. That's right, Gary. Yeah, that's one thing I enjoy, going to different ones and just meeting different people and hanging out. And every meetup is different. Some of them are just kind of more formal, and it's just a more of a meet and greet that you just talk to them a few minutes and go on, and then it's over with. And then others are laid back, where you camp out, or everybody's there and do different things. So that makes it to me, that's a lot more fun when everybody's mingling and hanging out together. They're a lot more fun than the ones where you just walk up and say, "Hey, this I'm so and so." Uh, you know. Yes, Helen does have a lot of historical houses. They have a lot of German. Uh, in fact, Helen is a German or Bavarian German type uh, homes. People settled there back, you know, what 100 years or so ago. That's how the whole area got. Um, they decided to make it into a more of a touristy type attraction, because so many of the restaurants, so many of the, like the motel that we all stay at, the whole motel is set up on a uh, more of a German theme type thing. And it's built. The houses look like they're homes from Germany and stuff like that. So it's really cool. Yeah, they do have a lot of cabins there. We have a lot of old cabins and old homes here, Christy, and over toward Warm Springs, Georgia, and Greenville, Georgia, in that area. There's a lot of old, especially antebellum type homes, and a lot of the old antique looking furniture in them. A couple of times a year, they have one of the mansions here that the Callaways. They had the Callaway Mills. They do tours of that mansion and all, and it is really nice, guys. DMSO is great for healing ligaments. Okay, okay. Mm. The hotel there, the Hellendorf, will give you a 10% discount. That's right. I forgot to tell that. Yep, sure will. They'll give you a good discount. And I mean the whole the when you walk in there to register, they have the little sitting area where they do the continental breakfast and all. It's just really cool, guys. It's if you've never stayed in a place like that, it's really a real nice area to go to. Yeah, Warm Springs. They do have actual warm springs there. In fact, that's where Franklin Delano Roosevelt made Warm Springs famous, because that's why he came down here and had what we call the Little White House there in Pine Mountain, Warm Springs area. I don't know if you guys ever noticed that video, but I did do a video of the Little White House there, and all of that became very popular because of that president. And he did a lot of during the Depression and all. He set up a lot of jobs for people, that were struggling, um, putting in highways and dams and all that kind of stuff. It was just amazing, some of the things that he did as a president. Uh, One of the veterinarians I worked for used DMSO on. Yeah, yep. Uh, I've used it, and it works. It does work. Um, Never heard of the three juice DMSO, but I've heard of DMSO and I've used that. So, and they use that on horses. They have actual uh, DMSO that's made especially for horses, and it's a lot stronger. In fact, I have a friend that uses it on his knees, because he has really super bad knees, and he uses the horse type. He said it burns, but it burns good. Yeah, yeah, that's just the way it goes. The older you get, the tougher you have to be. Getting old is not for sissies, folks. It's not for sissies. I don't care what nobody says. Trying to think of, yep, I was talking about a Warm Springs area. That's why, President Roosevelt had polio. And so he would come down, and that's how it got famous because of the Warm Springs there. They did a rehabilitation clinic there that is still open today. It has been modernized and all that kind of stuff, and they still receive grants to this day because of that. And they have a lot of people that go there. Yes, there is a super nice museum there. And I did a small walkthrough video of the museum also, guys, if you have not seen it. It's an interesting place to visit if you've not been, and it doesn't cost anything to go through. It's just amazing, and there's not a whole lot of things that you can do nowadays that don't cost you anything. If you want to make a donation, that's wonderful, and I always try to make a donation. It may not be 20 or 30 or $40, but I put them a little something in the kitty every time I go, just because of the fact that it's free to the public. When I was a child, the schools here used to take the elementary kids there, and they've even got the photo that the lady was. They had an artist there, and I cannot remember her name, but she was actually drawing and painting a painting of President Roosevelt when he died, the day he died. In fact, she never finished it because he died while she was actually sitting for the portrait. You can see but she was doing the watercolor in and all that with it. Yeah, that's right. Getting old is not for sissies. I can tell y'all, believe me. Yeah. Oh, so you've been to Warm Springs also? Yeah, it's a beautiful town there. They have a little covered bridge there. They don't allow cars there anymore, but you can walk across it. And it's just beautiful little area. All kinds of restaurants. They have the fish there. You can actually go in and look. It's like it's kind of like an aquarium, but it shows all the fish that's in this region in there, all the everything. I mean, they're living in there. Sometimes it'll actually have snakes from this region around here. I mean, it's an interesting little town. It really is. Just so much to do, and absolutely beautiful views there. And up through Pine Mountain, there's just some gorgeous areas up through there. If you guys ever get down this way and you want to see some historical and really pretty areas to see that are free, you guys should go there. Anyway. 3 juice equals DMSO. Okay. Did not know that. Okay. Yeah, there actually I think I have a short that shows President Roosevelt's car that was specially made just for him so that he could drive it around. And they said that he was the president that would get out there and ride up and down the streets and actually sit in his car and talk to the normal person, But back in the day, you just didn't have people running around with guns trying to kill the presidents like they do nowadays. It was a different world back then, guys. It was a different world completely. Oh, Lordy. I don't know what the country is going crazy over their darn food stamps or SNAP being stopped. Lord Jesus, anybody that depends on them things all the time ought to know that you cannot depend on the government. Our government has never been dependable as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to. Oh, they've opened it back up. Okay. I did hear something today that they were going to, what they call it, an emergency run or something, because they had so many people raising canes. Oh, it passed. Wow, that's great. I'll have to check the news later on tonight because I didn't see that on the news, but we didn't watch it for very long tonight. But I think we just watched the weather part of it, not the what was going on around about. Because every time you turn that on, somebody's getting shot in Atlanta or on 5 Points or up that way, And doggone right here in LaGrange, it's going on. In fact, they've got LaGrange listed as one of the most dangerous. I think it's the top 10 most dangerous towns to live in Georgia. It's just unreal. I would have never thought that. Gangs have just taken over here. So, and coming down through from Atlanta, part of incorporated into that area. The news isn't reputable. Ain't that the truth? The news used to be the news and you couldn't put nothing out there if it wasn't true. But nowadays, you got so much fake news, you don't know what's real and what ain't. And nowadays, with all this AI, you look at something on TV and you don't know if it's real or not, or on Facebook or on YouTube or whatever. You don't have a clue what's real and what isn't. It's just unreal. MSM. Lady on disability told me they canceled her health insurance, something to do with Medicaid. I can believe that. Yeah, I can believe that. Inevitable result, clickbait. So many choices these days. Yeah, I guess so. It's just life, I guess. We're just getting old and we think everything's got to stay the same. It doesn't stay the same. We had so many people complain when they brought in the Kia plant here. And as much as I hated for our little area to grow, I know we needed it in this area because it brought in so many jobs for people. Over 1,000 jobs, just the Kia plant. And that's not counting all the other plants that came in that make parts for the Kias, like the company that does the plastic or whatever that's molded and fits on the doors, and like the company that makes the seats and the frames for the seats, the molded seats or whatever, and you have to know how to put all of that junk in the computer, kind of like CNC, except it's computerized and it's I don't know how to explain it because I'm a dingbat, guys, but anyway. Qualify for SNAP and Medicaid, but have never applied. I just garden. I know that's right. Well, when my youngest daughter was born, I got food stamps for a little while. And what was it called back then? It was called, I don't even remember what it was called. Doggone, it's been so many years, guys. That was 40 years ago. But where you got milk and cheese and rice and cereal and stuff that was supposed to help you to stay more healthy, that had more vitamins and all that. And it was certain things you had to get. I forget what it was called. And then when the baby was born, you got formula and it all was food stuffs or milk and stuff like that for the kids. You're saying commodities. WIC. Yeah, WIC. There you go. WIC. So it was kind of like food stamps, I guess. Back then, you got actually a piece of paper, and it listed out you got so many juice, and it had to be certain brand of juice, and stuff like that. But yeah, I remember commodities back when my grandmother was alive because she would get the cheese, and there was something else that she got that were they called commodities back then. For poor folks, it's just the way it was. Seemed like there were peanut butter and cheese. I don't remember what all else, guys, but I remember she always got the cheese, and it was good cheese, guys. Hoop cheese, good, strong, medium, not that mild stuff. It was a good, healthy cheese. My daughter had WIC when she was pregnant. Yeah. So I got WIC with her. And I guess that's about the same thing as food stamps, basically. Because I think now they give you a card just like they give you a card for food stamps, that they didn't do that. Even back then, when people had food stamps, they got the actual stamps or the actual slip of paper that you could get so much of this and that and the other. And it didn't have stuff like, you could just go and buy anything you wanted food wise. You had certain things back in those days you could get. We were poor when I was growing up and we had assistance. Yeah, I imagine a lot of people did. I know we did. Yeah. People talk about how good the cheese was, but I never had it. My grandmother would make biscuits in the mornings, and she wouldn't cook on an electric stove or gas stove. She would only cook on a wood stove, and she would make a big batch of biscuits, and then she would have the biscuit sliced in half, and she would put a big chunk of cheese on some of them, and she would put sugar and cinnamon on some of them, and some of them she just had buttered, just plain butter, and then it was butter and sugar and cinnamon. Boy, those were so good, guys. But those cheese biscuits, oh my God, they would just, yep. Rags to riches. That's the way it goes, guys. People back then, you had to. My grandparents had a huge garden, and she canned constantly. But I remember her getting that cheese, and I'm thinking there was peanut butter too. But anyway, don't recall much about the food when I was a kid. Okay, Helena says we have 4 minutes left, guys. Everyone have a blessed evening and stay warm. We'll see y'all next week. Yes, we will. Good book says not to lay up treasures. That's exactly right. Yep. Can't take it with you. Isn't that the truth? Well, guys, thank y'all so much for coming in and visiting with me on your way out. Please give me that thumbs up if you've not already. And I appreciate y'all so much. And y'all remember to watch what's going on around you. Nowadays, you didn't have to used to worry about it. But nowadays, we've got so much craziness and so much meanness going on in our country. So all we can do is pray about it and hope that we stay safe and keep our family safe. And we will see y'all all next week. If I don't see y'all again before then on somebody else's live. But I love all of y'all, and I appreciate y'all. And this little thing is still motor running. But y'all be sweet, and we will see y'all all next week. I think I'm going to go ahead and get out of here a minute or two early. I try not to go the whole hour because there's some more people that come on behind me. And that way it gives people a break if they're going to watch that channel, that they can go to the bathroom, get them something to drink or whatever. But thanks y'all so much for coming in, and y'all all stay safe, stay warm, and be happy. And we will see y'all all next week. Love y'all. Bye-bye. Ow, ow, ow. Don't bite me, you little devil.